Hi guys, so we're on to our next week's of lessons. We've got two. We're going to be adding and subtracting today. The first lesson is going to be adding and subtracting with a common denominator, and second lesson is going to be adding and subtracting with not a common denominator. So we're going to start out easy, just adding and subtracting with a common denominator. Well, how do we do that? The first thing says, what do we do? Well, we combine the numerators, so we're going to combine the top and keep the common denominator. So the denominator stays the same, and we're just going to add or subtract whatever it tells us to do, the numerator. And then second step is we're going to factor and simplify, make sure we can my answer is in the most simplest form we can get, and that is how we add and subtract rational expressions. So we're going to do the first example here. And notice, first things we want to notice is, let me get my highlighter back here, is that this is a subtraction problem, so we're actually going to end up subtracting. And then the second thing we want to notice is that my denominator is the same. So here we go. So we're going to subtract. So this says x squared plus 5x minus 3x all over 4x squared plus 5x minus 6. So here we go. Simplify the top. We get x squared plus 2x all over 4x squared plus 5x minus 6. So if I factor the top, I'm going to get, I can take an x out of the top, so I've got x times x plus 2. And then we're going to try and factor the bottom. Now, this one is a little more complicated, but we're just going to try and kind of what we've been going along with. I'm going to assume that there's going to be an x plus 2. That could be totally wrong, but we're going to go with that assumption. So I'm going to come over here in a different color here, and let's see if we can make that assumption. So if I assume that one of them is going to be x plus 2, that means that x times what gives me 4x squared? Well, what that would be 4x would be here. And 2 times what gives me negative 6? Well, that would be negative 3. So let's see if that works. So x times 4x is 4x squared. And x times negative 3 is negative 3x. And 2 times 4x is 8x, and 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. So I've got 4x squared plus 5x minus 6. So is that correct? Yeah, that's right. Okay, so that was a good assumption. Sometimes we can make those assumptions and they come out right. So I've got x plus 2 times 4x minus 3. So I've got an x plus 2 on top and an x minus 2 on bottom. So my answer is x over 4x minus 3. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing. So for the first section on our homework, we're going to start out a little bit easier than the example that they give us. And we're going to just have one thing in our denominator, one term. That's it. So again, I want to point out that this is an add problem. So I'm going to add. So I've got n plus 3. So this is going to be n plus 3n all over 8. So that gives me 4n over 8. And then I'm going to try and simplify. Well, 4 goes into 4 once and into 8 twice. So that means my answer is going to be n over 2. Good job. Okay, so now we're going to go to problem number 2. Remember, stop, rewind, whatever you need to do to help you get through this. That's why it's on a video. You can stop and rewind, do whatever you need to do. So I'm not going to pause very long. Here's our second problem. And again, it is a addition problem. So we know that. So I get 5 plus 1 is 6. I want to write this out so people get it. So 1 plus 5 over 3x. I'm not going to skip any steps here. So that gives me 6 over 3x. And then I want to simplify. So 3 goes into 3 once and into 6 twice. So that gives me 2 over x. And there we go. Okay. So number 3, let's see. So this time I have a subtract problem, and yeah, I'm kind of highlighting what I'm doing so it keeps me in mind, so it keeps my mind fresh on what I'm actually doing to the problem. So I've got 7u minus 5u all over 16. And I do want to say this because I know I made a mistake in one of the videos already. If I make a mistake, just please let me know, or let your teacher know, and maybe we'll give you some extra credit. You know, sometimes teachers make mistakes, and I, as my students know, make lots of mistakes. So please let us know where there's mistakes at, and maybe we'll give you some extra credit for those mistakes. So just want to put that out there. 7u minus 5u is 2u over 16. Let me reiterate what I just said. Maybe not all your teachers will give you extra credit, but I know I am going to, and I think 1 or 2 other of the teachers said they would, so you might want to ask, at least say you found a mistake and see what they'll do. Okay, so I just want to say that again before we go on. So 2 goes into 2 once and into 16 8 times, so that gives me u over 8. And there we go. Okay. All right. We still have a common denominator. Beautiful. And I am still subtracting. So I get 7p squared minus p squared all over 4p cubed. So if I add that together, or subtract that, I'm so sorry, I get 6p squared over 4p cubed. And then I want to simplify. Well, I have 2 p's in the top, and I have 3 in the bottom. That means I'm going to have 1 p left in the denominator. And what goes into 6 and 4? Well, 2 does. So 2 into 6 will leave a 3, and 2 into 4 will leave a 2. So my answer should be 3 over 2p. Okay, there we go. All right, and then we're going to go to number 5. And number 5 is an addition problem. Great. So I get negative 8y squared plus 11y squared all over 3y. And that is going to equal 3y squared, because negative 8 plus 11 is 3 over 3y. So to simplify that, my 3's make a 1. I have 1y on the bottom and 2 y's on top. Well, that leaves me with y in the numerator. Okay, good job, you guys. We're moving along pretty good. So number 6 here. Okay, number 6. And again, I have a minus sign here. So I've got 7ab minus 3ab all over 10a squared b. So that gives me 7 minus 3 is 4ab all over 10a squared b. Okay, so let's simplify this. Let's see. What goes into 4 and 10? Well, 2 does. So 2 goes into 4 2 times, and 2 goes into 10 5 times. I have 1a on top and 2 a's on bottom, and 1 and 1. So what do I have left in my numerator here? I've got a 2. And in the denominator, I've got a 5a. Okay, there we go. That concludes part A. So we will see you back after you do a few problems. I will see you back in a little bit. Have a great day. Bye.